morning. This is Doug Smith. I just wanted to cover some training on zip forms. We always have new agents joining, and for even those that are experienced, if I've been doing it 30 years, I go into zip forms all the time, and I do practice with it. Have hypothetical buyers and sellers and tenants and landlords. So the first thing that we always need to know is to get into zip forms. There's about 100 ways. I go to texasrealestate.com. You can see it right there, and I hit enter. And when I hit enter, I'm going to see a login. I click on it. It should default my login. I'm going to then log in, and it's going to take me right back to the same screen. When it takes me back to the same screen, it's going to say, "Hi, Doug," and I'm going to go right over to the right and hit zip forms, and the screen's going to turn blue. I had a number of agents over the last week call me. I was in my car, I was running, and I was helping them through every screen without being in front of a computer. Most of them wondered how I did it, and it's just because it's a perfect storm. I've been doing it long enough. The whole computer's in my head when it comes to real estate, so I'll always be able to help you no matter where I'm at. So this is your screen. After the screen turns blue, you are in this screen, and there's only one tab you'll ever hit, and only one tab, and it's the new tab. And when you click it, you're going to have 5 boxes, but we only care about the first 3. Listing is a seller, purchaser is a buyer, and a lease will cover tenant landlord. So let's start with the seller first. You have a seller, you're going to click on a listing, you're going to name it Sammy Seller. You're going to always select the dot next to residential, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. No matter what it is, always select the dot next to residential. There'll be a drop down. It says select template. You'll have one of 3 or one of 4 to pick, and you'll be looking for listing template or seller listing template. You click it, and then you scroll down just a little further, and you hit save. And the next screen you're looking at is a white summary square. And when you see the white summary square, you go 2 tabs over to documents. Now you're in your forms that have been pre-filled for you. You don't ever have to open up the information about brokerage services. It's already pre-filled. You're going to print that though. You're going to print the seller's disclosure. That doesn't have to be filled. If the home's before 78, you'll print a disclosure on lead-based paint. And then you'll open up the exclusive right to sell. And when you open it, you're going to fill in about 3 paragraphs. The seller's name. You really don't need to put the address, because when you go down to paragraph 2, that's where you'll put the physical address. Let's say it's lot 6, block H, Crystal Creek subdivision, city of Plano, county of Collin, and then you'll put known as 8005 Palmetto if it was my house. From there, you're done. You go to paragraph page 2. I already have marked, there's an HOA. I already have marked the 6% commission. Right here, you click on the blank. You put in a price, $500,000. You click on paragraph 4, the first box. I'm going to meet the seller on Saturday. And then, I think I'm going to do a 3-month listing. People ask me all the time, how many months do you do? It just depends on my personality at that moment. But I always try to pick the same day, and I usually go 3 or 4 months out. After that, and again, that was 4 paragraphs, I'm going to hit save, and I'm done. This is already completely filled in. If I keep scrolling, it's all filled in. You don't have to do anything. Don't overcomplicate anything. The goal is to get in and get out of zip forms, because the longer you're in your computer, the longer you're away from work in the field and meeting buyers and sellers and tenants and landlords. So you're going to print this. It's right there. You're going to hit the back button. And just to reiterate, you should have the IBS, the exclusive right to sell, and the seller's disclosure. Those are the only 3 forms that we require in our firm to go on a listing appointment. Okay? All right, so that's seller. Now you need a buyer. And again, you're going to go to texasrealestate.com. you're going to click on the zip forms tab. You're going to see the screen turn blue, and hopefully you're only going to hit one button, and that's the new button. And when you hit the new button, what you're going to see is 5 boxes, and you're going to pick purchaser. You're going to name it Bobby Buyer, whatever the buyer's name is. Select the dot next to residential always, no matter what it is. Always select the dot next to residential. There'll be a drop down. You'll have either 3 or 4 templates, and we're looking for the buyer template. There it is. You're going to hit save. The next screen, you're looking at a white summary square, and you go over 2 tabs to documents. When you go over 2 tabs of documents, you never have to open the IBS. It's already pre-filled. You are going to open up the buyer rep. And when you do, you're only touching 2 paragraphs. The first paragraph, I like to do all caps, Bobby Buyer. 4th paragraph, a begin date, usually today. And then you're going to put the day of the contract that you're about to write up. It has a closing date. Let's say it's the end of May. You hit save and you're done with the buyer rep. It's already been pre-filled. All of it. It's all pre-filled. Hit the back button. You now have already done the IBS and the buyer rep, and you need to look for one of 3 contracts that I have already templated in your forms for a single family, duplex, triplex, quadplex, and a townhome. It's a 1 to 4 family. For unimproved, that's land. And for a condo, it's a condo contract. You're going to open up the 1 to 4. You're going to go to the top, and you do have to have the agent full report printed and the tax roll, and you start filling this out. Most of it is templated, and when you're done, you're going to hit save, and you're going to send it to me to review, and you hit send right here. When you hit send, you hit email. When you hit email, you have 2 screens that pop up. Red X out of the first screen. Type my email in here. Douglas at DHS Realty, DFW.com. In the subject line, put review. Hit send. It's going to ask you, what are you going to send it through? You can hit zip forms. Hit got it. You can also send it through your Gmail. And then you're going to scroll up and you're going to see at some point that it says it's been sent. And you'll see that right there. And then you text me, hey, I sent a contract for you to review. That'll be the contract. You hit the back button. If there's an HOA addendum, it's already pre-filled. You don't have to even open it. If it's third party, you open it. And I've already pre-filled. If it's conventional, all you do is put whatever's in 3B. So whatever is in 3B of the contract goes right there. You'll hit save and you'll be done. Okay, so that's a quick zip forms on working with the buyer and a seller. The only difference is with a seller, you print the forms. With a buyer, you generally are going to e-sign. So you can do it a couple ways. You can open up the form. You hit e-sign in the left corner. And you're going to already default everything. Don't touch it. You're going to hit select documents to include. And you're going to check mark the forms that you're going to send to the buyer. Boom. Boom. That's the contract, third party, and HOA addendum. You hit close. You'll see them listed there. You hit next. You now have a list of people you're going to send it to. This is your scroll tab. You can scroll up and down, and you're going to send it to Bobby Buyer. When you check mark Bobby, you can see it doesn't have the last name. So you'll put his last name, and then you put an email, bobby@buyer.com. Now you'll be able to check mark them. So you always try to check mark first, and it'll tell you whether you can check mark it. If you can't, it'll tell you what you have to fill in. Then you go back and you can check mark it. You hit close. You'll be looking at the buyer. You hit next. All the forms are going to load. It does take a second. When all the forms load, you simply hit next and send invitation. And you just emailed the zip, you just DocuSigned it to your buyers. I hope this helps. It's a good little introductory this morning. Y'all be safe.